Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AEW podcast. This is Hollywood McConnelly with the double biceps. It is in the contract and legal requirement every single time we appear on camera, just ticking the boxes, making sure that the lawyers are happy, and they will be happy with that because they did get to see two biceps in that shot. The man to my left, who's not sitting here right now, he will be in shortly. We're waiting for Dave Stockbridge to arrive, but he is on his way and he will be here soon. So we'll be able to get this happening. But big news, big day, big week in the AWE world. We had a very successful trip over to Brisbane in Australia, and we ran. It was supposed to be 5 matches. We ended up running 8 because everyone in that room was an arm wrestler. And this is one of the things that was really interesting is that normally when you go to see an event or an arm wrestling match take place, it's like you get to you're experiencing it, you're watching it, but you know that the scheduled card is the card, and you're not going to get an opportunity to get up, even if somebody got injured or whatever. There's no one that's going, oh, does anyone want to jump up and get on the table? It's that doesn't happen. But it did happen in this event for the AWE. We had our 5 scheduled matches. We ran through the first 4 reasonably quickly, and we were waiting on the 5th. Tyson Bryce was going to be heading there a little bit later. He was coming in from work. So we had about an hour's break. But during that hour, we had 3 extra matches because people in that room were also arm wrestlers, and they were like, oh, we would like to have a match if we can. It's like, sure, get up on the table. We'll film it. Absolutely. No worries. And so we got 3 extra bonus matches, which was absolutely fantastic to see these things take place. And we've got the Drew, and he says the invisible co-host. Yes, that's right. Dave Stockbridge will be in shortly, and we get to discuss this weekend's activities, which took place in Brisbane. You have seen, I think we've got 4 matches that have been released so far, with 4 more to go. Our plan is to release 1 every day. So obviously with 8 matches, that equals 8 days of AWE Underground Arm Wrestling, the first 4 that we've seen that everyone has access to on the AWE YouTube channel right now. First one that we got out was Bowen Contado versus Rickard Bornman, which was an incredible match when it was the Sunday after the event. So we did the event on Saturday, and then on Sunday I went over to Ryan's place to start editing this footage. And I said, which match do you want to start editing first, or which one should we put out first? And before I even finished the sentence, Ryan's like, Rickard and Bon. Because we knew that match was amazing. And we both wanted to see it again. So yeah, it was quite interesting, the editing process for us, because we had an idea as to what we wanted out of the product and where we wanted to head in terms of framing this underground sort of series. And it turned out very different to the way that we had envisioned it after we got the footage in. And the interviews and the way that the matches took place. We had 3 different camera angles to start putting it together. It was like, I think we can make this sort of in a different direction, which is the direction that you would see that's available up on YouTube at the moment. But it was definitely one of those things that you don't know what you don't know until you start doing it. And we had an idea, we'll go in this direction. But it wasn't until we actually started playing around with the idea and the footage and getting things together that we started to move into the direction that we ended up with. But yeah, it was a very good weekend. We had a lot of fun, and it looks like we can do these sorts of things regularly. And moving forwards, we'll be going ahead with the Underground series. It was different. It was a different feel from going from the pay-per-view events to going into doing this sort of thing, where there wasn't as much pressure, especially the fact that we were recording the matches and we weren't going out to a live audience. It makes a big difference, because when you're on live, things are happening you can't control. If images get seen that shouldn't have got seen, they're already out there. You can't pull it back. With editing, with recording, the pressure of that is so much reduced, because you can obviously, as long as you get your videos recording properly, and that was one of the concerns, is make sure that everything's working from a equipment standpoint. But Yeah, it's always one of those things that you really want to make sure that everything is working correctly. Your cameras are recording properly, that the SD cards are not getting full. But the pressure in terms of that compared to pay per view is definitely a different experience, more relaxed experience. And I think that's why we were able to get three extra matches up, was because there was just like, hey, this isn't going out live. Like, no one's going to see this right now. There's no pressure on you. And so people are like, hey, well, can we just jump up and have a match? It's like, yeah, absolutely. It almost felt like not a training session, but like a step up from a training session, where it's almost like if you've got a club and your club's having some super matches, but a little bit more than that. Like you've brought in some people from interstate, and you're having some amazing matches take place right in front of you, right in your club. And this was at the Kingpins Club in Brisbane with Marcus Atirais set up there. And so, yeah, the people that were in that room after the first four matches, everyone's excited, everyone's pumped up, and everyone in there is an arm wrestler. Like, it's not like there was open to the public. So all the people that were watching, they all can arm wrestle. And it's like, hey, do you want to get on and have a match? It's like, yes. So, and we still have one match that people don't know what it is yet. I think we've released. What have we done with in terms of the bonus matches that have took place that people know they haven't seen? So there's three bonus matches, one of which was Ryan versus Lachlan, and that was the first bonus match that took place. And Lachlan Adair was refereeing for us, and obviously Ryan is standing there making sure that the filming's all working properly and everything like that. And after a couple of matches, you can see Lachlan just wanted to get on the table, and Ryan was the same. And they both looked at each other and gone, do you want to actually have a match? It's like, yes, I do. And so they jumped on the table straight without like planning this at all. It was just like, let's get on and do it. And then we didn't even have a referee. It was like, who's going to referee? And then um, Jamie Barrett said, hey, I'll do it. It's like, yes, you stand there. All you got to do is put our hands together and say go, then we'll do the rest. But he ended up doing a fantastic job, Jamie. So he was a very fair and very good referee. But yes, Lachlan Adair able to walk away with the victory in that bonus match. He said that he was able to turn Ryan off, and basically his idea was that he was able to prevent Ryan from moving into the position that he wanted. Just going to do something because we talked to Ryan earlier yesterday about possibly jumping on the show. So I'm just going to send him a link to the episodes. I'm just going to log into my thing here so that I can send him that link. And this is the bit where I would normally say to Dave, hey, can you talk to the kids while I do this? But I can't do that because he's not here yet. He will be here soon. But let me look up my details here so I can just send this link on. This is the fun bit where you get to watch me clicking through screens that you can't see. I'm just going to get my link here. And I'm going to send it off to Mr. Bowen. And Ryan Bowen. Just the exciting bit, the interesting bit. All right, there we go. We've sent that link there. And because I know he doesn't check Facebook messages, I'm going to text him and just say, I've texted that to you. But there we go. We've got a couple of people watching in here. I'm guessing one of them is the Drew. However, I do believe it is only 3 a.m. in the US at the moment. So we're not expecting to have a whole ton of people in. It was more the fact that we couldn't do it this afternoon as we normally do. Had some other commitments, so we thought, hey, we don't want to miss out on doing our weekly show, so we'll get this one in early. But it's always good for people that can go back and they can watch this. And I think the plan today is we're going to be talking about the 4 matches that we've already uploaded onto YouTube, and there's 4 more that we'll be talking about next week, which will be uploaded over the next couple of days. Right, just send you the link via Facebook. There we go. All right, done. So yes, AWE Underground matches took place. It was a lot of fun. The first one up was so the way we released these matches are not in the actual order that they took place, but yes, the first one that we did release was Richard Bornman and Bowen Contado, and what an absolute war that was. these guys both had a little bit of a history going into this match because they had faced each other at the state titles where Rickard had won on the right arm, but Bowen had won on the left arm. So Bowen obviously knew that he needed to build up his right, and obviously this match was going to be taking place on the right arm. And so he put a lot of time in, a lot of effort into preparing for this match. And when they got on the table with each other, the fireworks started, and there was a lot of trash talk back and forth in the rounds. And I think this is one of the things that Bowen really enjoys, is that he really gets fired up in the world of his matches. And the Drew says that it is 7:13 p.m. Well, that's the perfect time for you. There's no excuses. Phil Woody says it's 3 a.m. So obviously that's the UK. So I've mixed those two up there. But 3 a.m. for Phil Woody and 7:13 p.m. for the Drew. Well, this is good for you then, Drew, because this is not cutting into your evening as it normally does. I know you're always saying it's quite late, but this is perfect. This is prime time viewing just for you. But yes, have you seen, Drew? Have you seen the matches? I know you have, because I've seen you commented on them. But what were your thoughts? I'd love to hear a comment on there. And what was your favorite match of the ones that we've released? So the ones we have released so far, we've had Jamie Barrett and SK. We've had Bowen Cantado and Rickard Bornman. We've had Matt Waringi, Hannah Morris, and Marcus Atirai. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course Lachlan Adair and Ryan Bowen. So yes, those four. Which one was your favorite? What did you think? What do you think about the way that AWE Underground is being presented? And it's moving forwards. We'll be looking to do very similar things. And the good thing about it is that we can do it for a lot less cost than what it was for the pay-per-view. And the pay-per-view, you're looking at a quite significant investment, where you've got to hire the function room, the lighting, the on all levels, it costs a lot more. You've got to get the professional video production company in to do all the streaming side of things, to make sure that your bandwidth is adequate and all those elements. But yes, it was very, very much a stressful situation to do the pay-per-view, but much more relaxed doing the underground. And we've got JH Pipe Fitting, getting her done. Lachlan versus Chance prediction. I think that Lachlan is the heavy favorite in that match, and I think that it almost feels like a not a squash match, but and this is something we talked about last week, that Dave was very much of the favor of saying that Lachlan was just going to crush Chance, but I do think there are lanes that Chance can win this match. He is very experienced. He's a strong guy. He is a heavyweight. He's been around the world and arm wrestled some of the top talent in the world. To write him off completely would always be a mistake. He has the ability, but obviously Lachlan is the heavy favorite going into this. But yes, I would have picked Ryan to have beaten Chance last year. So with Lachlan obviously handling Ryan in the most recent match they had on the weekend, it's hard to pick against Lachlan in that. And the Drew says it's almost a bit that Game of Arms feeling to it. Yes, that's right. Funny you should mention that. We were literally watching Game of Arms episodes last week leading up to this weekend, going, this is the sort of feel we want to get. So that's perfect. It's the perfect result for us, because that is exactly with the target audience that we were trying to hit. Obviously, Game of Arms had a very big production budget. They were able to get camera crews out in different locations around the country in America. Their episodes, I think, what are they? They're an hour long, 45 minutes or something. So obviously we're not in a position, and I don't think we wanted to be in a position where we're going to put one match or a couple of matches in to that level. We're very happy with the quite brief interviews and just getting to know who's this guy and who's this guy, right? Get them on the table and away you go, because you're almost going to find more about their personality on the table as opposed to what they're going to say. It seems to be the trend that when people are building up pay-per-views, or if they're trying to sell the match, that it really requires somebody to sit there and say a lot of very, very controversial things or very offensive things or very hyped up things to try to get people interested in buying the pay-per-view. But with this, it was not required. It was very much this is both these guys, just we stuck the camera on them. I don't think they knew they were going to be interviewed, and it was like, hey, Rickard, come over here for a sec. Okay, yeah, point the camera at him. What do you think about the what do you think about the match? And he just straight up, you haven't got time to think of an answer. You just got to say it quickly. But there you go. It was very honest responses, and we were able to get some really good natural responses from these guys. And I think it was literally like 3 sentences from each guy, and then you're straight into the match, which is great. And then straight after the match, you can see we kept the camera running, and it was just like, they've finished pulling, and it's like, hey, come over here, come over here. We didn't cut or anything. It's just like, Rickard, come over here. Okay, what did you think, man? And then, you can still hear the microphone on the other guy as well in the background because they're talking about it. And then, so yeah, bring him back over to the opponent. Hey, come over here and tell us what you thought. Then that's it. And it was just very quick, very easy, very natural. And I think that was one of the things that really made people want to step up and get on the table. Was there was not really a lot of pressure. It was like, this is like the club match, the club feeling, and this is the feeling that we really wanted to push, was that for us here in Australia, and I would guess it's sort of similar around the world, where for arm wrestling, if people say, oh, let's have an arm wrestle, you're not going out to a big stadium or a big stage and having a professional, refereed by 6 people match. It's put your arm down and let's have a go. And, the next level up from that is that you might have a few mates that come over and you go into the back shed and you try to see who's the strongest. And that's what we were trying to sort of replicate with this. It's almost the feeling of it was, we want people to come into this and see it as, this could have happened in your house. This could have been in your next door neighbor's back shed. And that's the sort of feel that we were going for, because it's like, oh, have you heard of Johnny down the road? He's really strong. It's like, well, I bet I could beat him in enough. Well, bring him over and we'll see. That's the sort of feel that we had with this. But obviously the guys that were competing were very, very, very adept and super strong. So we've got the Drew says, a quick background of each puller. Yeah, it's cool. Those after interviews near to thoughts on the match. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the idea of it, was that we just quickly grabbed somebody and put the camera in their face and said, hey, what do you think about your opponent? What do you think about the technique that you're going to be using? One of the difficult things was with me, when I was being interviewed for mine, my opponent was standing next to me. So I didn't want to say anything about I was like, I didn't want to say what I was going to be doing, what my thoughts were. You could hear everything I was saying. So we were trying to be conscious of that maybe we should make sure that the opponent is not in the same room as the other person, so you can actually speak your mind without saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do in round 1. I'm going to top roll, and then round 2 I'm going to it's like, oh, well, are you? Okay, that's great, thanks for letting me know. So that side of it, it was one of the things we changed on the fly. But I was one that got to experience answering the interview questions with the opponent right there. I did leave the room for him though, because I knew how I felt, and I didn't want him to feel the same way. But it was overall a fantastic experience. We're very, very glad that we went ahead with it, especially the fact that we changed models from going from the pay-per-view event through to this underground series. It was a bit of we sort of felt that disappointing feel sorry, just hearing something. It was a disappointing moment when it was like, oh, I'm not going ahead with AWE3, but I think we definitely made the right decision. And I think the decision that we went forwards with was very valuable, that we were able to get this instead. Hearing these voices, and I'm hoping it might be the man himself, Dave Stockbridge, coming in. He will be coming in shortly. We'll see the man come in through the door. Well, you won't, because you'll see this view only, but there's a door over there that will be opened, and a man with the Dave Stockbridge of the Year award will be coming through, and we will chat about the matches that did take place. But so we had Matt Waringi and Marcus Itirai, 2 absolute giants on the table, and they were facing off against each other, which was a very exciting moment. So, I believe the man himself is here. Here he is. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well.
He has arrived. Yes, that's right.
Oh.
Absolutely. How you going?
I'm great, mate. I'm great.
Good,
How are
good.
you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Oh, well, hang on. I'll get my WWE shirt. It's a little bit warmer in here as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Well, you're representing already. You've come prepared.
I came prepared. I haven't gotten out of these clothes since
Since Saturday.
Yeah. You haven't slept and I haven't cleaned.
Well, I slept 17 hours in one go.
You what? You slept 17 hours.
Yeah. After I didn't sleep all weekend. I didn't expect to sleep that long either. And I slept through like stuff that I'd scheduled in the morning because I was like, I think I went to sleep at 7 p.m.
Wow.
And I like my next thing was scheduled for 11 a.m. I was like, yeah, and I missed it. I woke up at like 12:30. When you look at the clock and you're like, that can't be right.
That can't be right.
Surely that's not right. But it was right.
It was right. So what are we going to do today, Matthew? We're talking about AWE Underground. So
Yes.
some of those matches have already been released. So if you've been living under a rock since the weekend and had no idea AWE Underground took place substantially, well, the first installments took place this weekend in the on the mean streets of Brisbane. So I got a couple of warnings on the way from taxi drivers suggesting when I said, "Oh, you get that chat with the taxi driver like from the airport." So where are you from? Adelaide. Oh yeah, great. What are you doing? Oh, we've got an event on. Oh yeah. So why are you going to Marsden? Well, why not? Oh, you don't really have events in Marsden. Do you know where you're going? So I got warned off. So and then what a fantastic atmosphere! What a great event! And some fantastic matches already out there.
Yeah,
in the world.
Absolutely. You might have to scoot over towards me a little bit because half your face is missing off that camera. I like it. That's the only part I like.
That's my favorite bit.
There you go. But yeah.
What's happened here?
Hey?
What's happened here? Something's gone wrong with the framing.
Oh, do you want me to fix it up?
No.
Nah, we won't.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got the Drew is in, and we've had JH Pipe Fitting is also chatting away as well. But yes, it's a different time for us to do the show, which is why I think we've got only a couple of people on, but that's okay. We thought we would chat through some of the matches that have come out already, and we've got Ryan here. Okay, Ryan is not able to make it today. That's okay. That's all right. Sometimes things are more important than doing the podcast. And he's probably editing the footage.
That's probably exactly what he's saying. So
with the AWE stream, so we will be creating a different channel for the podcast to go out on YouTube. The reason being, of the algorithm tends to like high performing videos, and if we put out the streaming ones or the live ones that aren't going to be performing as well, then it will hurt our ability to get recommended and get our watch hours up and all that sort of thing. So yes, we'll have to do a separate channel for the AWE podcast, and we'll still go out on this one as well.
It's a really good point because what we're shooting for now with AWE is to get as many views as possible on that YouTube page. That's really important to us, and so of course the algorithm reads what's gone on for your last 50 or so posts, and if you've got some underperforming or you've got some that kind of lend a bit of ballast to your numbers, then that can hurt your chances. So we want to give AWE Underground every chance of success. So if you do jump onto that channel, you'll notice that AWE 1 and 2 matches have been removed. Now, if you're freaking out about that because you haven't seen it or you want to go back to them again, of course, you can go over to awearmwrestling.com and check out all of those videos. They're still up there. Matt, I believe you've taken care of business on that front, making sure that people still had access to all of that great information. But it has been removed from the AWE YouTube channel.
Mhm.
So you won't see them there anymore. But scoot over to the website. You can capture everything. So we don't want you to miss out on anything.
That's right. This is one of the things that is valuable of having somebody that's got 100,000 YouTube subscribers, is that wealth of information, that they know how to set up a successful channel and how things are worked through the algorithm. And it's like, look, we've got these matches here, but they're going to harm us in the long run. It's going to be much easier if we just put them on private, and then we can, we still have access for people to be able to see those matches through the website and all the rest of it. But we want to, as you said, give this channel the best possible chance it can have, at the greatest success that it can have. And we're going to kick things off straight away with 8 awesome matches, and 4 are up at the moment, and 1 more will be coming today. So 8 days, we'll have 8 matches up, 1 a day.
What's been your favorite so far?
The Bowen Katana Rickard one.
Yeah, that was great.
That was so good. It was so good. Yeah.
Some really good moments.
Just the back and forth trash talking, and the certain moment that happened, about 3/4 of the way through. So I literally laughed at every single time we saw it when we were editing it. I could not laugh at it. That was so good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't you?
No.
I haven't seen it yet.
But 3/4, I don't know.
Oh.
I've seen it 4 times. I don't know.
What the bit where Bowen calls Rickard a certain word.
Oh, okay.
During a match.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When
Okay.
that happens. That
Right.
makes me laugh every time.
Okay.
Cameron Greats says, "Yo, hello to you, Cameron." Cameron is one of the guys here from SA who's training out in the countryside. Countryside. Yeah, that's right. Well, in the country, I don't know exactly where he is, but he's out there in the mist somewhere.
In the Badlands.
That's right. And he's been doing quite well. So exciting to see if he makes it down to the SA Titans Club one day. We'll see how he goes. But I know he's very passionate about the sport, which is great. Great to see him on the channel here. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So overall thoughts on the weekend. How do you think it went?
I loved it personally. It was a great experience. There was, I guess, from our perspective, whenever you're going to be on camera or behind the mic, you're thinking about it. You want to make sure that you're putting in a good performance. We didn't have any of that. We were really behind the camera there, and enjoying it, enjoying the atmosphere. We were able to, relax with the athletes afterwards, and catch up and have burgers later on. It was just a great night. Marcus and his family are amazing people, really hospitable, and made us feel at home.
Absolutely. And it was great to see that you got a chance to actually get on the table with some of these guys finally. Last 2 events. Last 2 events, you had to go straight over and you're in the same room. But
I was watching from the distance. I was like that kid that's watching the other kids play, but there's a fence in the way, and I just can't.
Can I come over?
But I'm in a tux and I've got a microphone,
right?
And I'm in a cage. That's the difference.
That's
the fence. Yeah,
it was the fence. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Yeah, but who did you go on with?
Lachlan Adair,
started with the weakest person there.
Tyson Bryce, yeah. After he'd been on the tables for like an hour, had a super match, and there's no point. There was no resistance coming from my end whatsoever.
I know what it feels like with I didn't go on with him on Saturday, but previous times he's just gone like that, and I'm like, yeah.
It's just like,
he just does. Whenever he moves his arm, you go with it. It's
disturbing. That's what it is. It's disturbing. So yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the tables, but it was good fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So Lachlan, did you get on with anyone else?
Tyson Bryce, he's a weapon. So a little bit left and right. Josh Barrett, Josh Burnett. Sorry, too many Jamies, Joshes.
Yeah, Josh Burnett.
Barkers, or too many B's,
There's
too many J's.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah. If you could put them all together, would you have the ultimate under 90 kilogram arm wrestler?
Yes.
Yes, I think you would.
Joshua
Barkett.
Joshua Barkett, that's right.
Got a chance to jump on the table with those guys, and that was super fun as well. So good times, but more importantly, some spectacular footage and some really great moments, and so encouraging to see the arm wrestling world respond so positively, and really getting behind really what's a YouTube channel with 1,000 or so subscribers now, getting tens of thousands of views every day, all thanks to you guys getting behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
yeah,
you guys, I mean, the 3 people watching now in particular.
Oh, that's fun, because people can come back and watch this in the future, and they will
see this in the future, and they'll
go, I was one of those 3.
Yes.
Eastside Arm Wrestling says great matches so far on AWE card, mates.
Thank you very much.
And keep them coming. And he's got the hand symbol, very nice. Thank you there. I believe he must be an American, because you can tell with the way that the mates is thrown at the end there.
Mates.
It's not quite in the correct context.
No, but trying.
It's good. I appreciate
it.
it. Oh, hey, Dave, are you still up for that match you offered? You picking on a newbie here. He's always happy to pick on newbies.
Oh, I'll take on anyone with 0 experience, and hopefully that weighs a lot less than me and is obviously a lot weaker than I am. So anybody, I will bully you. Yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll dominate you.
You will crush you.
I will crush you. That's what I'm all about. I'm the newbie killer.
That's it.
I mean, but if you spend any longer than a month's training, it's all over.
Yeah, so don't do that.
No,
that's unfair.
You'll be. Yeah. Hopefully, I injure you and you never come back.
Oh, that's right. Oh, there you go. It's Eastside Arm Wrestling says, good guess. I'm Greg from Singapore.
Oh, it's Greg from Singapore.
Greg Yeo?
Yeah, I think so.
Saying that wrong.
He's got a lot of handles. He's managing a lot of accounts.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can get him to jump in, tell us a little bit about what's going on in that part of the world, because they also had their big event there, the UAC, on the 21st there in Singapore.
Yes.
So Schoolboy was over there doing his thing, and so I think they had a couple of belts on the line. I think Greg might have been on the table, or maybe not this time. But but he's never too far away from the table. He might have been commentating the event, as a matter of fact.
Well, Greg, if you're keen, let us know in the comments, and I'll see if I can get a link out to you, and we can have a quick chat, and you can tell us about how the UAC went. And just let us know, and we'll figure it out from there. But
just give us three little biceps. We'll know what that means. That'll be the code. Send it over
because it's always 2, and if it's 3, then there's something wrong. We'll take notice of it.
That's right.
Do you do 3 like this or 3 like that? Like if somebody can I have 3, I'd do that.
Just that.
You'd wave like this.
No. I was thinking because I'm an auctioneer, so I go first call, second call, third and final call.
Oh, you do this one.
So I actually do that for a living. Specifically that movement.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't do the thumb. You go with the third finger.
Does the thumb?
Everyone does the thumb.
I think that's it's a sign of a psychopath. No one.
No, that's how it. Paige, how do you do it? If you hold up your 3 fingers, if you went 3, would you do that? You'd do that as well. Forget it. Forget I even asked you.
I was surprised Paige is still here. She normally leaves.
Yeah, that's right. When I walked in, she went, hang on, what time is it?
I've got nowhere to go.
Time to go? Greg says he would love to come in for a little chat. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to get the link to you. I think we've got you on Instagram, so I'll see if that's probably the easiest way to do it. And Dave, you can talk to the kids
I'll mumble away in the meantime. Unfortunately, my little...
it's your thing
just coming out again. Oh no, it's terrible. It's terrible. But big thanks to all of the athletes that were involved in AWE Underground this past Saturday. The venue was Marcus Atirai's shed, so it was great though, wasn't it? And just Ryan had the idea for the venue when we were talking about underground and taking the sport really back to its roots. I think. It depends on where you are around the world. It appears to me that arm wrestling in the UK and in the US seems to be more of a bar sport, a little bit like darts or 8-ball, for instance. Whereas here in Australia, arm wrestling is very much a shed sport. So a lot of the Australian clubs, some of them are still very much based in sheds, but it seems to be like that's the subculture of arm wrestling very much has its roots in dudes and sometimes chicks, but dudes catching up in sheds and arm wrestling. So and so when we decided upon this AWE underground concept, it's like, well, we are kind of being forced by the world around us to go underground. There didn't seem to be a place for us in the pay-per-view world. Our attempts to kind of turn our attention to other marketplaces just weren't viable in the end. We were kind of left to think, well, if we can't get access to certain arm wrestling talent, if we can't get a viable, profitable card together, we can't get the big names and the talent onto our card to draw that type of attention, then it's going to be really difficult for us to provide a platform for that emerging talent that we're so enthusiastic about. So from our end, it was really coming about a concept that still enabled us to really shine a light on that emerging arm wrestling talent, and those guys that we've been fortunate enough to come across that we see so much potential in. We can do that, and we can do that without having to incur the massive production costs associated with staging a world-class pay-per-view event, which runs into the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on what you're paying the athletes and all of that type of thing. And for us being on the other side of the world, of course, that's really difficult. But this AWE underground concept very much was born out of the idea of, well, we're kind of being forced back to our roots here. We would have loved to have been the next WAL, or we really wanted to bring a bigger, better, more professional style of production. We've been pretty critical of East versus West and King of the Table over the years, and so for us it was a matter of, well, if we're going to be critical, we might as well try and do better if we can. And I think in AWE too, you kind of saw where we were heading with that whole concept. Don't have access to the talent, and you've got to kind of look at all your options. AWE Underground made a lot of sense to us, and just I guess if you had to go on the way you feel after an event, like I feel like not only did I really enjoy myself, and could see that the athletes had as much fun or more fun than if it was on a big stage in the in the middle of a stadium or something like that. The athletes had a ball. So it felt like we'd struck upon something, and now seeing the footage coming out, there's no doubt in my mind that it's way more compelling viewing shooting arm wrestling matches in the way that we did than it might be looking at a stage from 20 meters away with a a big pan.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. We've got Greg waiting there. I'll just quickly answer a couple of comments here before we grab Greg in on this. We've got the Schmo who says, gents, the AWE channel is popping. Those 4 matches videos are doing very well. There's 4 more to come over the next 4 days. There'll be another one released today. I believe Ryan is actually working on the edit at the moment. We've got Nikolai who says, oh yeah. So hello to you, Nikolai. We've got Marcus Thompson. I don't know if you ever heard of Marcus Thompson. You heard of Marcus Thompson before?
I've heard of Batman.
Oh yes. Well, I believe they're one on the same person. You would never see the two of them in the same room at the same time. No, never. No, I've never actually seen either of them. So
there's no evidence either exists.
That's right.
Yeah,
I swear it's Paul Maiden with a different account and an Irish accent.
Yeah. It's just a fully developed character in Paul Maiden's mind.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely. And
a whole backstory for him. He's
That's right. And Marcus says the underground was very slick. I think you got the pace of it right. Punchy. All right.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh. Thanks, Marcus.
Cameron can't wait to see my match. Well, yes, it won't be today. I think tomorrow is the plan of when we're releasing it.
Yes.
We'll get Greg in here so he can tell us about the UAC. And hello to you there, Greg. How are you today?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. Really good. Doing really good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great, mate, and congratulations on the success of the event on the weekend. We just so happen to both simultaneously have events going on, but give us a bit of a breakdown for those people that. Well, firstly, tell us about UAC for those people that don't know much about you guys at this stage. Tell us about how you got into arm wrestling, and a little bit more broadly about the event on the weekend.
Yeah. So just to start off, I guess, a little introduction about myself. I'm Greg from Singapore. Started arm wrestling about 12, 13 years ago. Got pulled into the sport by Valen Lowe. Met him online, and then rest is history. And fast forward to early this year, UAC, basically an organization started by Valen Lowe and a partner, Jonathan Chuck, based in Singapore. Very similar concept to you guys over at AWE. Basically, we just want to make arm wrestling a big professional thing, push it out to the world, especially from the viewpoint of our part of the world. So you guys, more of an oceanic thing, ours a little bit more Southeast Asia. So yeah, I think that both of our areas don't really get as much attention as it deserves, like compared to people in America, in Europe. No one really talks about Asian arm wrestling. No one talks about Australian arm wrestling, New Zealand arm wrestling, and yeah. So that was basically the goal of UAC, to put out our athletes in this part of the world to the rest of the world.
Very, very cool. And so, and do you have a formal involvement with UAC? Like you seem quite synonymous with the promotion.
Yeah. So currently, not officially a partner or like part of the UAC team per se, but good friends with both of the co-founders of UAC. There are talks of bringing me on board as like an official person. Yeah, negotiations are underway. The money is being put under the table. Yeah, no. But yeah, sort of a partner for now, but maybe in the future might be more official.
Brilliant, mate. Fantastic.
Well,
and were you...
Marcus Thompson seems to think that the UAC had influence from Paul Maiden's disco glow sticks.
For sure, yeah, definitely inspiration from Arm Gods. Yeah.
You know, if you ever do anything like that and you don't attribute a credit, Marcus Thompson is going to raise it. So
yes, that's right. Yeah.
If you're using red lights or the 300 tune, which I think we did in our promotion, yeah, you can quickly see
oh, man.
Why not say anything? It will just, it'll just be enough, that he was watching. Yeah, and he knows about it.
You just walk out and your car will be draped in an Irish flag.
Yeah, you just know what comes next. This is going to be nice.
So awesome. I love it. I love Arm Gods. I love AWE, what you guys are doing with it. I like the more condensed sort of feel that comes to arm wrestling with productions like Arm Gods, like AWE. I think you've seen comments before in the comment section, probably people talking about how it gives them like what was that, the old arm wrestling series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of on AMC, stuff like that. I like that. Very gritty, very surreal, very it just feels way more entertaining sometimes, even compared to things like with a way higher production value, even like East versus West. Sometimes it looks a little bit too polished. This one brings the grittiness back into the sport. So
yeah,
love it.
It feels very much like the UAC has gone a similar path with their promotion, their branding, everything. As I could see the similarities with UFC. Yeah. And
yeah,
I got my swear jar here because I think when I saw your UAC, I think it was like, oh, you've changed the F to an A there, like.
Yeah,
but
definitely
it's great. I mean,
gotta call the lawyers for that one.
But it's good because it shows the inspiration and a lot of my knowledge of how combat sports and especially the arm wrestling promotion side of things has come from watching the UFC and being a big fan of that, and obviously the inspiration has rubbed off with UAC as well, which the arm wrestling championship over there in Singapore. And how did you go with your event on the weekend? It obviously went to plan. Everything went well.
Yeah, everything. It looked like it went well on stream, but behind the scenes, I can tell you that it was chaos. Is utterly chaos. Sponsors pulling out left and right.
What, really?
Get new venues. Yeah.
Tell us about all the drama. This is what we want to hear.
This is because
So
Marcus Thompson, that's why.
Oh, Marcus Thompson strikes again.
Exactly. Yeah. Called in the lawyers, couldn't get anything.
Saw the glow sticks. Next minute on the phone to the sponsors. I stole that idea. I'll sue all of you.
If they don't attribute it in 30 seconds, the glow sticks, cut them off.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys are, you're no strangers to things happening last minute, especially, for example, the thing with Masahiro Saito and Ryan Bowen. So a lot of changes last minute. For UAC, basically what happened is a couple of days out, not even a week, like literally 1 and 2 days, venue pulled out,
What? Pulled out?
apparel pulled out. Yeah.
What? How do you mean?
So
Like they pulled out, like in terms of they
they
found out
said,
it was
no, you can't have it at our venue anymore. Our equipment's no good. So we don't want you here. And yeah, so basically the founders, Valen and Jonathan, they had to scramble last minute within 24 hours to find a new venue, get the camera crew, everything set and ready. And yeah, it was so chaotic, but really glad it turned out okay in the end. I was only a commentator, so I didn't have to worry for that. But yeah, in the group chats, they were really, really stressed out.
I bet. And so was it just a matter that the venue wasn't didn't have the infrastructure, or they had some failings, or was it that they found out it was an arm wrestling event and thought, oh, shady arm wrestlers, they're going to smash up the place. We've heard about them.
Maybe a little bit of that, but I think it's a little bit of both like on an actual like technical thing. There was talks of certain equipment not being able to support like the streaming stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also maybe sort of from a marketing branding point of view, maybe they didn't feel like it aligned with their brand.
So they didn't mind making life tough for you in the end, mate. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a hard thing to deal with. And then but the event itself in the end ran smoothly.
In the end, everything went as smoothly as I think it could have went. Schoolboy was amazing. We had an awesome after poll, which I uploaded, and seems to be doing pretty well. I think it served the purpose well of showcasing that we do have legit athletes over here, it's an organization worth looking at, and
So who are some of the emerging superstars in the Southeast Asian region that you guys have been able to showcase on UAC so far?
Okay, so two of the biggest names, they were in the undercard. We pulled over two guys from Thailand. One of them is named Josh, and one of them is named Guy. Both of them combined have, I think, it's 400,000 followers on TikTok. So really big stars,
Wow.
really big stars in the region.
Insane.
And yeah, we brought them over. Both of them medalists at the recent IFA World Championships. So, and the good thing is we had our guy, Joshua Tay, beat their guy, Josh. So that's a win for us. And yeah, Joshua Tay, really, really strong. I think Josh Barker had his sights on him for a while now. That might be something we could work out in the future, maybe. But yeah, number one guy in our country had 2 medals at World Championships last month. And yeah, I think that was pretty much the biggest talking point in the video I uploaded, because Joshua Tay is our guy that pinned Schoolboy in the after polling videos.
Wow,
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
So lots to look forward to. So whilst we're talking about, if people do want to just cross over and check out some of this action, they'll be able to find that on your channel and UAC's, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So for the after polling video, it's on my channel, East Side Arm Wrestling. For the full UAC card, UAC Invasion recent one, you can head over to Arm Wrestling TV. That is Alex Toprol's channel. Full pay-per-view is right there. It's still online. The stream was really good quality this time. We had a professional team. And yeah, the biggest criticism we got for previous events were because our stream quality wasn't very high, but this time completely professionally done. And yeah, all on Alex Toprol's channel. We wanted to use his channel instead of ours just because of the reach that he has, as opposed to, yeah.
Well, he's the biggest channel in arm wrestling.
Pretty much, yeah.
Really smart move. So super impressive that you guys really took on board that early criticism and feedback and said, you know what, we're going to address that. We're going to get a better looking commentator. So they got you, and then and got the AV guys. So you're able to get a crew in to really support the event.
Yeah, and
Brilliant.
Got a lot of support. Very happy with how it turned out, and hopefully bigger things to come in the future.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? The streaming side of it, and this is one of the things that we really wanted to get right, was that we don't want people to pay money and then have issues trying to watch the stream. You know, it's buffering or it's dropping in and dropping out.
Mhm.
And we've seen that even with, you know, the bigger promotions out there, the East versus
Mhm,
West and the King of the Table. And you'd think like they've put so much money into bringing people around from around the world to put on this big performance, and then they've skimmed out on the streaming budget, because I've had so many times when it's just dropped and I've missed 30 seconds of, and it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And
And
it's
you
like,
don't know if it's your computer, you're
Yeah.
turning the thing off and on,
is it
you're
the
going over
flapping
to your
blinds
phone,
in the corner?
this engine.
Terrible, exactly.
Yeah. But we had luckily a very good production team that knows their stuff, and they were able to stream in high definition quality the whole way through AWE and 1 and 2. Leading into 3. You know, unfortunately, I got a little bit caught in the middle of some of the technical jargon that was being thrown back and forth between venues and places, and it was like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You need to talk to each other, because this is whatever. To me, it's turn the internet on, but
That's right. Have you checked?
Yeah,
Have you
that's
checked
right.
the power?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there lights flashing?
Just turn it off and turn it on again.
It's a WASL thing.
Awesome.
Mate, you've got Sam Burnett's one of the UAC champions. Is he your middleweight champion in memory?
He is our welterweight champion.
Oh, your welterweight.
81 kilos and below. But I don't think he's staying there for very long. He looks bigger now.
Yeah. I don't think he's that much bigger though. I think he was like 85 kilos on the weekend.
85?
Sam Burnett.
Oh yeah, because he hadn't been training for a little while.
No, he's had to take a couple of months off after a bit of an injury. So, mind you wouldn't know to look at him though. He's a unit, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
And he jumped straight on the table. He jumped straight on the table to do something that we can't talk about. But anyway, we'll find out in the next couple of days.
That's
I'm
right.
sure.
That's right.
So
excited. I'm excited.
Mate, and amongst those emerging names, like who's your favorite at the moment out of the region? Who do you think's the athlete most likely to break through to like the arm wrestling mainstream and maybe find themselves on, say, an East versus West card or a Monster Factory card or something, or maybe even an AWE card?
Yeah. So I think definitely the guy that I mentioned earlier, Joshua Tay, the one that pinned Schoolboy. I think for a couple of reasons. He's strong, for one. You have to be strong. Yeah, but also he has the look. If you go on his Instagram, just look up Joshua Tay. That guy is built like a brick house, extremely shredded, huge biceps. It's pretty much like a Josh Barker, but Asian. So
okay.
Yeah, that kind of look.
Asian Josh Barker.
Is he all forearm though?
Yeah.
All abs.
All abs. Oh.
Yeah.
Is he better than Raul Panica's abs?
Maybe.
Okay,
definitely that.
If you're not sure, then it must be close. So that's good. Yeah.
So, because we know UAC attribute points to abs and to leanness, it's a different system. It's more like PFL.
Yeah, it's like you can lose, but if you look better losing, then you win.
Depends how vascular you were when you were
exactly.
Yeah, because that's a 5-point bonus.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like if you had your whole forearm veins and everything. It's like, oh, yeah, I know you got flash pin, but looks
so good on camera. Bonus points, you win. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I like it.
We should do that.
Yeah,
we're stealing that.
Awesome.
So, mate, tell us more about what's coming up for you personally. So, you're obviously not just an arm wrestling fan. I see you on the table all the time. You've been competing and traveling around the region. So, what are your ambitions for 2024 and beyond?
Yeah, even before 2024, later this year,
well,
there's gonna be a big tournament in Indonesia.
I've heard about it.
I have it on good authority. There are a couple of Australians that are coming over as well.
Yes,
and we're gonna see how I do.
It's 300 million.
Yeah.
So
it's $30,000 Australian.
30,000 Australian. It's pretty big.
Wow.
What are the details of the tournament?
So yeah, it's gonna be from 9th to 10th of December. It's over 2 days. Gonna have 4 weight classes: 70 kilos, 86 kilos, 100 kilos, and then an open class. And after that, there's an overalls, and then huge prize money for each class. I think it's basically 2,000 Australian dollars for first place, 1.5, and then 1,000. So yeah, first, second, third for each weight class. And overalls, it's like $5,000 Australian, I think, for overall winner. So pretty
wow.
decent.
And how much for best abs?
Best abs, Jesus! You get a high five from me.
It'll be worth getting shredded for. So
for sure.
So, do you know much about the organisers or the promoters for this event?
I am in decently good relations with the Indonesian side. They flew me over earlier this year for a super match. Which I lost, so I'm not going to talk about that. But
That's not never happened.
What happened in the match?
Never happened. They have organized this event before. Last year was their first one. It's called VIER, VIER, and pretty big organization last year. Pretty big competition. I mean, there were Malaysians, Indonesians, as well as Koreans over there, and yeah. Couple of Korean champions over there. They went there, and I didn't even think the Koreans won. So the level of competition over there is pretty high. Wow. And yeah, this year hoping to have even more guys over. Prize money has increased. So
you're competing in that as well?
Yeah, I'll be in the 86 kilo class. So bulking up a little bit, and hopefully I'll do well.
And who are you looking out for then at 86 kilos? Who do you think's a threat? Who are you hoping to avoid?
Well, it's not confirmed yet. It's not confirmed, but my little buddy Sammy told me he might be interested over there.
Yeah.
The rumors is not confirmed. You know, not saying anything yet. But that might be a big threat.
They've got that immigration issue to overcome.
Yeah, submitting the paperwork.
Yeah. Yeah. Kim Tae-in is another big name. You guys might have seen him polling with Ryan Bowen earlier this year. That's the Korean that came over. That's another big name. Yeah.
Was he in your weight class as well?
Yeah, he's in my weight class as well. He's getting big, like 90 kilos. He's probably going to cut down to 86.
Ooh. So do you see a pathway forward to making arm wrestling your full-time gig, one way, shape, or form? Is that your ambition?
Yeah, that is the goal. That is the goal. Definitely not. Yeah, basically like that. I don't think it's possible for me. It's not in the cards for me to do it based off of prize money alone. I'm not a Devin Laird. I'm not someone like that who can pull that kind of money for my matches. So I have to do it, sort of like the Ryan Bowen way, YouTube, merchandise, coaching, a lot of things putting together. And this YouTube thing is a big part of that.
What would you say your skill set on the table is? Are you an explosive puller? Are you a top roller? Are you a hook? Or what do you like to do?
Yeah, I'm a very explosive top roll puller. If you go back to earlier this year, I had a match with Rhett Downward for the middleweight title belt over at UAC. Pretty closely matched with Rhett, and very similar styles. You can see both of us fighting high up. The history behind it was that I lost to Rhett before at over the top last year at in Australia, and I wanted sort of a redemption, but didn't get it. Oh well.
Does it deserve a trilogy? Does it deserve a trilogy?
Maybe. I want to get up to his size first. I'm still like 80 kilos, so got a couple of pounds to put on. But funny thing, you probably don't remember this, Matt, but we actually pulled at Over the Top. I think you were my first or second opponent in the overalls, the opens.
Was that you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. Maybe
I do remember.
We need a match, maybe.
Yeah, because I was not expecting to be in the overalls, well, not in the overalls, whatever. It was the open class, I think. But I think I entered like an earlier class and got destroyed. And then somehow I was in, and they called my name. I was like, I think they've made a mistake. And then because I was filming, I was on the stage filming.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
And then they called my name. I'm like, oh, is that me? Oh, okay. And I think when we gripped up, I know. I remember immediately you rise and back pressure lifted my elbow straight up the table. I remember that going, oh no, I'm this high above the pad. Before we got in. But I was going, oh, you're nice to meet you. How you going? Yeah. Oh, we're arm wrestling. Right, of course. What am I doing? But it was crazy. But yeah, there you go. I was gonna ask you if I met you at the thing, but we actually arm wrestling.
There you go. See, AWE podcast bringing people together.
That's right.
Yeah,
who have been together before.
Yeah.
But some of us don't remember.
Reuniting arm wrestlers from around the world. Like UNICEF for arm wrestling.
Yeah. I went 0-4 in that.
0-4
to contribute to my, I think 0-12.
Is that your streak?
0-12.
It's the longest streak in arm wrestling history, isn't it? Yes.
Oh no, I did get some pins in the second Titans Open thing that we did.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think we're going back a little while.
We have to go way
That's
back.
like 3 years ago.
It's a long time, but I'm holding on to it.
Matt won 2 rounds 3 years ago
against some beginners.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. Gotta go real quick. So just a couple of last words. For me, yeah. So basically, just gonna wrap up by saying 2024. Probably gonna still be working with UAC. Probably gonna try and make a bigger event in the earlier half of next year, and definitely want to go over to Australia myself, and probably maybe even bring a couple of friends over, and meet up with you guys. Hopefully get a couple of matches in, maybe sort of a UAC AWE collab kind of thing.
I think
Not so sure yet. Yeah, but that's something we could definitely work out. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Fantastic. We've got a shed, so we're all good to go, mate.
Awesome. I love the shed. Keep it that way.
Awesome, mate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Greg from UAC, he's your commentator over there, and of course, one of the emerging athletes in the Southeast Asian region. Also, if you follow his page, you'll be able to keep up to date with all things going on in the region. He's a great source of news whenever I want to find out what's been going on in the Southeast Asian region. All I got to do is jump on Instagram, follow this young man. And where can people find you, mate?
Yeah, you can mostly find me on both Instagram and YouTube. YouTube is East Side Arm Wrestling. On Instagram, Greg Yo, and then you'll find me right there. UAC as well. You can find us both on Instagram and YouTube. Ultimate Arm Wrestling Championship, and you'll be able to find it. Awesome.
Fantastic. Great, mate. Well, follow this young man. He is the future of arm wrestling in the region, and we look forward to seeing you over here in Australia. Greg, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Matt. See you guys
man.
next time.
All right.
Chat to you soon, mate. Thank
mate.
you. Well, you heard it here first. That's a AWE podcast exclusive. There's collaboration going on with UAC. They'll bring their best, and we'll put them in a sweltering shed in Brisbane and make some arm wrestling magic happen.
Yeah. It's so funny that he was the guy that I went against. I was always wondering who that was.
It was like, do you sometimes just sit at the edge of your bed in the morning, you're putting your shoes on, and you stop and you think,
who was that man?
Who was that?
Yeah. No, I literally do, but it's not about who was that man. It's more about just remembering how much my elbow got lifted off. I've never had that happen to that severity before.
It was the man himself. It was the technique.
It was getting like, I've never had somebody just rip with rising pressure, like just like that. And
if you look at his Instagram, that's all he's practicing.
That's
all he does.
That's right.
But yeah, very, very strong young man at 80 kilos, quite formidable. So we're definitely going to see a whole lot more of Greg in the years to come. So the Drew has posted. Oh, well, thanks for dropping by, Greg. Really appreciate it. Always great to hear what's going on in the region. You're a fantastic ambassador for the sport. And the Drew has posted East Side Arm Wrestling. So give them a sub and keep up to date with all things going on in that part of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. It is so good to see that there are these emerging regions, and people who think that it's only based in Europe, it's only based in the US. This is not true. There is world markets all around the place, and especially when we looked at India and we went, oh my god, India is the #1 viewer of arm wrestling, not by a little bit, but like by 300 times more than #2. It's and then you've got the Indonesian side of thing, the Southeast Asian side of thing, the Australian scene, the South African scene. So yeah, there's an amazing array of these not underground, but these lesser known regions with champions and with people who are very much into the sport.
Yeah, I think over the last several months, as the Instagram page in particular, because it seems in those regions, Instagram's the go-to. So, when you whenever we posted something, especially that's involved our friends in India, you can see all of a sudden you got arm wrestling of Iran, you got arm wrestling of Turkmenistan, you've got these guys who are like you Greg Yeos of that their part of the world, who are putting together content. We get sent the videos all the time, and sometimes we can't share them because you haven't got your settings right on your accounts, by the way. So if I get one on, I'll usually share it. The only reason I wouldn't share it is if I can't share it. So if you do send us stories, just make sure they're shareable, and we'll always help spread the word about what's going on in your part of the world. But a young chap in Pakistan, for instance, sends us stuff all the time. It's great to see that there's young guys that are out there that love the sport, that are really building a really strong profile in their respective communities, and then spreading their love of the sport to the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
God bless them.
It is. It's exciting. Marcus Thompson says, Matt, you have a match in the underground. I did have a match. It was the very first one, the first cab off the rank.
Has it been posted or
no,
something?
Not yet. Tomorrow, I believe tomorrow it will be out.
I know we're expecting a drop any minute now. So if we lose all of our viewers, all of a sudden we'll know exactly what's happened. That Ryan has dropped the latest installment of AWE Underground. So we're 4 matches down. I think there's still another 3 or 4 to go. 4 to go.
Yeah.
All those bonus matches.
Yeah.
So we went up there with anticipating to maybe get 5 matches in the can, and ended up walking away with 8. So it was a particular energy in the room that just drew athletes to the table. So plus all the after pool content, which can be caught on your channel.
That's
which if you're watching, you're probably on that channel right now. So check out all the after pool that Matt was able to capture.
Yeah,
so
you'll see me trying to move Richard Borman's arm and failing. And me like bright red and shaking as I'm trying, and him looking very relaxed. But yes, I did have a match against a gentleman named Jacob Tuxworth, who is quite an adept young man in the arm wrestling world, and we'll see how it went out.
Yes,
we'll see. We'll say that he was the favorite going in, and we'll see how it played out.
Just setting expectations now, just trying to control expectations, because I want to hype this up.
I don't want to hype this up.
Because you're a big man. You're like 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", and 110 kilos.
Yeah, 107, something like that.
Let's say 107. Let's say 108 and a half.
126.
And big biceps. 18 and a half, 19.
I don't actually know, but I think
22 inches, 22 inches.
22, I think.
And you're a big guy. You're a big muscular guy. You've been training for a long time as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
22 years.
I'm glad you're building this up because you know the result.
What I'm trying to say is that you should be hyping yourself up, because you're a specimen, Hollywood Matt Connolly. You're a specimen. So I can't wait to see the video.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. I mean, it is an exciting match. We'll say that. So it's something that people will want to see. That it wasn't like it's not something that.
Well, it wasn't like Ryan and Lachlan's match. It was just boring.
had the most views out of all of them.
30,000 views.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it was interesting in that though, because we were going to chat about each match. Do you want to do that quickly? We'll go through the 4 matches.
yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So the first one that came out was Richard Borman and Bowen Contado, which was a bit of a not bad blood, but like they had some history going into that. So Bowen Contado and Richard had pulled at the state tournament maybe 2 months prior to that.
In Queensland?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
And Rickard had won on the right arm,
so
but
Bowen had gone up for that because he's from New South Wales, isn't he?
yes, that's right.
Yeah, so he's flown up to take part to really test himself against some other guys, other arms. Yeah,
absolutely. And Rickard won the right arm, and Bowen won the left arm in their matches that they had up there. And so going into this match, obviously it was on the right, so Bowen had really focused in on right. And I did ask him if he was right-handed or left-handed, to which there was a very descriptive answer of which basically ended with him being ambidextrous. I got a list of the things he does with his right, the things he does with his left, and it was like, because he just do both.
Yeah, got it.
Right,
because he seems stronger on left than he is right.
Yes.
So Bong, it's a different, and you'll see that in some of the afterpool footage. I think with Rickard and Bowen on the table, where really Bowen's just like almost just, I don't know, easily holding Rickard on left, like it's like a different, it's like 2 different people almost. But on right, this is what Bowen had been really preparing himself for, and had all of that time. He felt like he knew some of Rickard's game plan, knew where his strengths were, and thought, well, okay, in that super match format outside of the tournament, how am I going to plot a course to victory? And you could really see that Bowen had given it a lot of thought, came in with a lot of strategy, and understood what he needed to do in order to shut his opponent down, but just wasn't able to completely execute.
No, that's right. Yeah, his style is the low hand top roll. It was funny, actually. I saw in the comments on that video, someone said, please, somebody teach Bowen to keep his wrist like high and stop dumping it. And it's like, that's what a low hand top roll is. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He wants to be here so that he could roll across this way and not the traditional sort of, where you're pulling back through that direction. But
he was doing it deliberately.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But there was a lot of chat and trash talk in rounds, which was funny. But it's always funny, I find, in Australia, with our insults are very friendly insults. Like,
even when they're the worst of words.
Yeah, it's like, good on you, buddy. Come on, mate. I'm gonna show you, buddy.
All right.
Champion.
Friend. Yeah. All the emphasis is put on the initial part, and then, mate.
Yeah.
Gotta wait. This all the feeling of the sentence at the start.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's the tone that matters.
But we can still be friends.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So, but what a amazing match it was. And when I went to Ryan's place, it was like, which is the first match that we want to edit? Before I'd even finished my sentence, he's like, Bowen and Rickard.
First cab off the rank, and so you've got two really young athletes too. So we've got a 20 and a 22, 23-year-old, I think. Bowen, so both are really young.
Yeah.
South Africa versus Australia in that one. And of course, Rickard coming off a loss at AWE 1 against Mario Timbarkis, who's an athlete he has since beaten. So Rickard was really coming in with a bit of momentum here as well, having overcome his first nemesis, and then Bowen's kind of emerged as that next guy to beat, and Rickard was able to take care of business in quite convincing fashion on right. But I've got a feeling we're going to see perhaps a comeback on left, and Bowen maybe having enough to take that one away. So really exciting. Both athletes have got that. Really, these are young elites in different sports. So Bowen Contado is the national wood chopping champion, and you've got Rickard, who's moved to Australia to be a professional rugby player. So you've got these 2 elite athletes who are really looking forward to a big, long sporting career, who are now, the exciting thing from our perspective, turn their attention to the art of arm wrestling, and are doing amazing things and putting on stellar matches. So I think we're 5,000 or 6,000 views on that video already.
Yeah.
So which is fantastic for those young guys. I'm sure they're all of a sudden going to enjoy a whole lot of attention from the arm wrestling world and beyond.
Absolutely, yeah. So Bowen Contado was described to me by Ryan Bowen as the Australian Matt Mask. You can see the similarity of the way he really fires up, and when he's on the table, he's rocking back and forth, and he's really viciously
very animated.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see the comparison there, and he's only going to continue to get better, and I think he will become one of the fan favorites. But it was funny through the edit, it didn't happen deliberately. I felt like he sort of come off as the villain in this match, and it was like Rickard was the hero, and then Bowen ended up looking like the villain, which wasn't. Both guys are awesome guys, and they're very, very lovely people, and you can see in the afterpool that they're on the table with each other and having good fun and all the rest of it. It's always different during a match when the intensity is high and all the rest of it.
Well, you got two strong young men, 6'5", 6'4". 120 plus kilos. I mean, these are big, strong young men who are getting fired up. Like they're at the height of the competitive juices. Like these young men, they don't want to give anything away. They don't want to be number two.
No.
Both of these guys are alphas. Like in their respective sport, they are the men. They are the one speed. Rickard Borman's always been jacked.
He's always been jacked.
So you got these two young guys that are just fired up and want to win. And what's really impressive is their ability to turn that straight back down immediately, become completely professional and enjoy each other's company and leave the sport on the table and enjoy each other socially. Like seconds later, just amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it was so funny during that match, man. The thing that I said this at the start of the show when we didn't have anyone watching, but when there's a certain thing, if anyone hasn't seen that match, go watch that match, and about 3/4 of the way through and their third pull, Bowen says something during the round, the very aggressive language towards Rickard.
C word.
It was which
word.
made me laugh every single time I saw it in the editing process, which is probably around 200 times, and I laughed every time. So, but it shows how fired up both guys. Even Rickard was laughing during the match after that happened. For me, I would have been gone. Like I would have laughed, and my arm would have just flopped. You lose your strength when you start laughing. Yeah. I would have. Maybe it'd be a good strategy if somebody's going against me. Maybe laugh.
If you ever need it, that's it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But we've got a few people who've jumped in here. We've got the Aussie arm wrestler himself, Jake Ward, has jumped in. And he says he needs to warm up his left for a left arm AWE underground match. Oh, we'd love to see it, Jake. We'd love to see it.
Who do you see as a worthy opponent, Jake? I think you're the man. I think you get to choose your opponent. I think that's for sure. So
I think the world is asking for a particular opponent.
Is there enough money in the world, Jake? Is there enough money for that matchup? It's what the world wants.
Yeah, so let's just call him P. Singh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit too obvious. We'll call him Pradeep.
It'd be if he was a MC, it'd be PDVP.
He's going to be competing at arm goals. So that can be the warm up for the AWE match.
Yes, yeah.
Who are you playing against in the arm
and
goals
is it
match?
left or right?
Have to be left. He's a left arm specialist.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but I think
I
really think Jake could do whatever he likes.
He could.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do right and left.
I would too.
At the same time.
Yes.
Does Dave arm wrestle? I believe he does, and he's looking for a match.
I lose at arm wrestling is what I do. I don't know.
You're on a win streak at the moment.
I take on newbies. I crush them.
You have been picking off the people who are ready for their first match.
Anybody who's ranked 20 and over. That's my feeding ground. That's where I dominate.
Yes, absolutely. But no, Dave is an arm wrestler. He's a very strong man.
I wouldn't call myself. I do arm wrestle, but I wouldn't call myself an arm wrestler.
Not too bad. I'm saying you're an arm wrestler.
Oh,
You can't be this deep into this sport and say you're not an arm wrestler.
I like arm wrestling. I do like it a bit.
Yeah.
So-
You know what you're doing. You put your arm on the table, you know how to do it.
I'm trying to get stronger. I'm trying to get more muscly. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
This is it.
Who is Jake going against in Arm Gods?
Jake doesn't want to talk about it now.
Is it a
So,
secret opponent?
Yeah. Is it Batman?
Oh, it's a tournament. Okay. there you
Oh, right. Okay.
go. Right. He's doing the novice and the pro tournament.
Excellent.
He's that good.
Yeah. Well, one leads to the other. So
It'd be funny if they ran at the
once you've
same
done
time.
once you've done the novice, you're ready. You're qualified.
Yeah.
You go straight into
They'd
the
be
pros.
happening at the same time. You've got the novice and then the
That's
hang
all.
on. Which one are you?
Novice and pro tournament the day before.
Mm.
Okay. Very, very good.
There you go. Well, you can answer that as well.
That's in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
You're going against Jake on left.
Yeah.
First round. Pradeep thinks he loses versus Jake. Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, he'd be right, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
Keep away. Keep away.
Yeah.
You see John Jones tore himself. Okay. Don't know what that is, but John Jones, obviously a MMA fighter, but don't know him. He must have maybe got injured.
Maybe. Yeah.
Marcus Thompson, I'm going to enter the competition. No arm wrestling training at all. Wow. So it'd be just one person on the table then, and then an invisible person. And them going, oh God, what's going on? Ah, what's happening?
The rest of the world won't see anything, but there'll be the straining noises coming
That's
out of the mic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of he's the John Cena of the arm wrestling world. You can't see him. If you win a match, Marcus, you must do this.
Will you enter under your own name? Though,
Ah.
Marcus? This is the thing.
Yeah.
Can we keep this going?
Maybe you could go as Paul Maiden. That might be good.
Oh, that'll
And
confuse
then if you
everybody.
lose,
All the conspiracy theorists like ourselves that believe you're the same person.
that's right.
I can't believe the effort that Paul made though to hire somebody to drive in the car and talk to us at the same
Yeah.
time. He was.
Did
on
you
the
see
other
how much he
screen.
was in shadow and he had glasses on, like dark sunglasses?
On a couple of occasions, he got his
full
accents
beard,
mixed up.
mask thing, and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a bad connection, and I'm in a really bumpy
Alright,
road.
alright.
Ah, yeah. Oh no, that's Scottish. Ah,
Yeah,
no,
alright.
Let me go. This is. Let me
No.
listen to that. All right. There
First
you go.
division, I'm competing. It's what's that? First division, I'm competing in. It's under 12 girls left. Okay, it's good to prepare. Good to prepare.
There you go. Yes, crush the competition. Build yourself up with confidence, and then you can move on.
Arm wrestling's 99% confidence. Once you're confident, you can take on anyone.
90%.
It doesn't matter where you build up that confidence either.
No, that's right.
Mm.
90% of the game is 50% metal. There we go. Greg says you've got this Jakey. You'd get top 10 at least for sure. I
Mm.
believe there are 9 people in the tournament. So
I don't know what Jake's like on left.
He's good.
Is he good?
yeah,
Is he
yeah,
good?
he's a strong guy.
Yeah, he's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bigger than you think.
He's
Like, you see him on like your phone, you think, oh yeah, Jake's not that big, but in person he's pretty big,
right.
isn't?
Yeah, I think it was because he was having to deal with the hip surgery. He was probably a little bit hunched.
Oh,
Yeah.
it took like 3 or 4 inches out of him. Now he's
Now he's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to get those seats when he flies with a bit of extra leg room near the exit.
He's 6'10" now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going back for
When
the.
he stood up tall, they're like, "Oh my god!"
He's going in for a whole another hip. It'll be
That's right.
He'll be playing basketball soon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's also trying for the NBA at the same time.
Mm,
First arm
very
wrestler.
versatile arm wrestler
Mm.
/ announcer / I hope he gets the Triple M gig.
Yeah, that'd
Have
be
you heard the
great.
hype there?
I did. I did share or comment or whatever he asked us to do. I did that.
You did that.
Mm.
Yeah. It just berated somebody at Triple M.
Give him a job.
Cool up on a completely different subject.
Yeah, that's right.
Just cool up.
Yeah. So about the footy on the weekend, Jake Ward should be your commentator for.
Hi, my name's Jeff from Dandenong. I heard of a young guy. His name's Jake Ward. He's a real good commentator. I reckon he'd be really, really good on the footy too.
He can play. He can play. He can do whatever you like. Go and check out the Aussie arm wrestler Jake Ward, who has come 7th in a 3-man tournament before. He's that good.
He's that good.
And he'll be under 90 kilos.
Under 90 kilos. So where are you sitting now, Jake? You floating around that, or is there still some work to do? I think we've got till March for that one. Is that right?
When is St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day, March, the 20 something.
Oh, something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's next year anyway. It's ages away.
Mm.
I don't see past the AWE events.
So so still some releases still to come. So lots to look forward to there.
Oh yeah, we haven't gone through all the matches yet.
Okay,
We've got 3 to go.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've done Bowen Kutano and Ricky Bowman. We had Lachlan Adair and Ryan Bowen.
Which was an impromptu match. So a bit of background here. This was not one of those matches that was meant to happen. Lachlan had graciously accepted to be a referee for the day. Seemingly the only person in the room strong enough to do that task.
Yeah.
I mean, when you, I think my son made the observation. He said, "Dad, you're like the 3rd smallest person here." I'm 110
You're the
kilos.
3rd smallest. That's nice of him to say that.
And
he's actually gone.
And
How
that's-
small is my dad?
And that's
Let me
only
figure
because I
this
brought my 15-year-old son with me.
Oh.
Otherwise, it would have been even worse. So yeah, big guys. But then straight afterwards, the call went out, and they were almost drawn to the table. They couldn't help themselves. So that it was like almost destiny,
Yes.
destiny in that shed right there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, Lachlan was reffing, and Ryan obviously standing right in line with the camera, making sure everything was going correctly. After the first 4 matches, we had probably an hour to wait for Tyson to get there because he was coming in from after work.
That's
and
it. Yeah.
You could see Lachlan just like
Itching.
just sort of circling the table, and then looked up, and Ryan's gone,
Yeah.
"You want to
That's
have
the
a
look I've been waiting for.
yeah? Let's do it."
Let's do it. Let's
And then,
dance.
like within, I don't know, it was 30 seconds after the last match had finished. Because Lachlan circled a couple of times, and then him and Ryan are gone, "We're having a match." It's like, what? What's going on? Huh? We need a we need a referee. Oh God, who's going to referee this? Jamie, can you? Yeah, okay. So yeah,
And Jamie did a great job.
he did.
He did a great job. He wasn't intimidated by the moment. You got the 2 best arm wrestlers in the country right there, and giving it their absolute bloody all. And there's Jamie Barrett just beautifully arbitrating proceedings and making sure everything's good. And it was a good, strong ref. I thought he did a cracking job.
Absolutely, yeah, it was great. So Lachlan did say after the match that he was just able to turn Ryan off. As in, he knows where Ryan needs to go to get strong, to be strong, and he was just able to shut that down. And I did say, "Well, what do you mean?" Like,
And he
went,
wouldn't let on, would he? He wouldn't let on.
There was no answer from that. It was just
That's my little trick.
I'm not going to say that out loud.
Yeah. So yeah, but very, very curious. And in the after pull, I think you'll find Ryan faring a little bit better. So it's it's interesting.
Well, that's what Ryan said.
Ryan won the after pull.
Yeah, he's like, if you look in the after pull, I was fine. And I was looking great, and everything was going well. It's just like, one of those things in the setup. Like if you know your opponent very, very well, and obviously these 2 guys train together every week, you're going to have going in with the strategy, and maybe that was a secret that Lachlan knew where Ryan wanted to go, and he'd been very much training to prepare to get into position. I'm not sure exactly what he meant in terms of stopping Ryan from moving. Maybe he was able to cup in a certain way or add rising in a certain way that just prevented Ryan from being able to go into the direction he needed to say goodbye to Aussie arm wrestler there. He's heading off, but see you, mate. Good on you. Back to work. Yes, might lift a weight or 2. Oh,
hey.
This is serious. This is serious stuff. Yes,
really prepping now for
That's
St.
right.
Patrick's Day.
But so it was a very interesting impromptu match, and both guys walking away.
We got Jamie Barker, Josh Barker, and
Is he?
And sorry,
Huh? Oh, here we go. And so we've had a match just posted while we were talking. So Josh Barker versus Tyson Bryce has just been posted. I'll have to watch it later. He has to drive. Yes, that was one of the extra matches. That was the last match.
That was the last match filmed. Well,
it
the
wasn't.
last match that we
It was
had
scheduled.
planned,
Yeah, it was still one
filmed, and
after
then
that.
there was another little extra bonus.
That's right.
But there was that was a match worth waiting for too.
Yes.
So
yes, we had. And speak of the devil, I was about to say your name here, but Matawaringi had a Morris and Marcus Atirai.
the beast, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. 170 kilos of arm wrestling on each side of the table facing off. And Matawaringi, well, I spoke to Marcus after the match, and he said that Matawaringi was very clever in the way that he pulled in this match. And he was expecting a different style to what Matawaringi did. And he basically said that Matawaringi kept his wrist flat the whole way through and pushed down, and at no point did he sort of get cup, which was Marcus was relying on, was that there was going to be a moment when Matawaringi cupped and he was going to be able to get into his sort of king's move position. But
it makes you wonder how much the Beast have been watching those videos from AWE 1 and 2 and seeing exactly where essentially the strength lay in the big Tahitian, where he was able to kind of almost lean back and then come over the top of his opponents every time he got stuck. And just listening to Marcus in that pre-match interview that anybody can see right now on the AWE YouTube channel, Marcus kind of lets slip a little bit of his game plan, and he just wasn't able to execute it. He really got shut down by that flat hand of Matawaringi's.
Yeah, he said also afterwards that he felt like previous matches he's been able to really boost himself up and really turn on, and a lot of jumping, a lot of movement, a lot of firing himself up, and he sort of felt like he couldn't do that. And maybe it's the fact that it was his own shed,
it was
his
in
own house.
it
just felt like
too much. It wasn't special enough. It wasn't.
Well, maybe it was the location. I mean, he'd literally worked night shift the night before, and he rolled out of bed and came in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those things may play a factor in that, but I know he was disappointed that he didn't get the win, obviously. But Matawaringi is the beast for a reason, and he's got world experience. He's stepping up towards that elite level, and there's no shame in Marcus's attempt at going in that match, and he still performed well. He wasn't just a blowout. It was he still had some moments, and the best thing is that you get to walk away knowing, okay, well, that's something that the opponent has access to that I was not expecting, and I need to start working on combating if somebody tries to do that to me again in the future. Because if you don't, obviously, then it's just going to keep happening. But it's almost you're exposing your own weaknesses by having these matches, and then it's like you don't know what you don't know till you get on the table and you get beaten in a certain way. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that, or that somebody could do that. I need to now close that hole, close that window. And it's not until you have matches, and especially for somebody who's of the similar sort of body weight or body size, to get on the table, man, that's such a rare occurrence for both of these guys. So it was a very exciting moment. I've just read this comment here.
It's
from
the only
Matawaringi.
time that Lachlan Adair looks small.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. And Matawaringi says, if you notice, I had to just power through to the pin pad, because you go slow with Marcus, you're going to wear the F out. Yes, that's right. Yeah, he does like to set traps and sit into positions where you feel that you might be pushing and winning, but really he's allowing you to get this 2 inches, but it's not moving further, and then you're sort of wasting energy. So
even if you take some of the weight out of the equation, if you can, right, 170 kilos, the leverage point with somebody is just so big as well. I mean, certainly Marcus in that case had the advantage of the longer limbs, and to try and pin someone when they're kind of down here and their arms like 1.5 meters long, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
the table's only so big, and you've got such a huge human being on the other side of it. It really presents a different set of problems for any athlete to deal with somebody of that magnitude.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And Matawaringi, I don't know if you've seen his thumb. His thumb is like about 6.
No, but his thumb has seen me.
It has. Yeah, it's got its own Instagram.
Yeah. She just is ginormous.
It's humongous. I think that was one of the factors as well that Marcus said he found it difficult to get his hand around Matawaringi, because of the size of the thumb. So but again, he stepped up to the plate. He gets to walk away learning that these things are things that can happen in matches, in opponents. You know, it's gonna be rare that you'd go against somebody of Mataringi's size.
Well, what an interesting journey for Marcus Tirai when you think about it. So he comes to AWE at 1 and blasts through Adam Laura, Lachlan Carpenter, two very highly favoured opponents. Comes to AWE 2, calls out Gunther's Bykovs at AWE 1 after his dominant performance. Gunther gets Gunther's attention. Gunther's grants him the opportunity at AWE 2 and put in a stellar performance. I mean, it's just an epic battle, which you can also see on AWEarmwrestling.com. Just an amazing performance. So has an L on that occasion. So 2 quick wins, has the L, and then steps on with maybe the one of the top 3 biggest arm wrestlers on the planet, and an emerging superstar Mataringi, and threw down and put in a tremendous effort. Walks away with the L again, but it's all how you lose, because you know there's going to be more demand for Marcus Satirai's services on the arm wrestling table around the world after that performance as well. So again, a great performance by the Beast. So he's got two out of 3 now on the table. So and his only loss being to Toddzilla. So he's definitely cemented his position as one of the top supers in the AWE.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see him versus Lachlan.
Oh, again, So we've got to run that one back at some stage. But both men have commitments right through the early part of 2024, so that's not a match we'll see for some time. But
let's do it anyway.
But it's going to be. I'm sure we can get it going. But we're going to see both men on the table coming up in the next month or 2. Yeah. So exciting times. A lot of the athletes at AWE Underground you're actually going to see pop up on Monster Factory. Jamie Barrett's going to be on Monster Factory. Arm Gods, of course, Knuckles Up as well. So some of your favorites you're going to see all around the world in the next month or so.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
On the cards of some of the best arm wrestling promotions out there. So Mataringi the Beast says Marcus is no joke. He smashed through 2 super matches. AWE 1 got a pin on Gunther's, and AWE 2 is more than a lot of people think. Yep, I think so too. I think he's the real deal, and another one of these great athletes who's accomplished a lot in their chosen discipline, and with Marcus that's BJJ, so he's got a combat sports background, and now has turned his attention to arm wrestling and made arm wrestling his sport, and quickly risen to the top. So absolutely big things, and the Beast just continues to kind of chip away, making his claim and knocking on the doors of the elites, just reminding everybody that he's right there, and his next match could be that breakthrough match that means that he's right at the pointy end of the biggest cards around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fantastic match. The last match that we've released so far, well, although we've had one just drop while we've been talking, but the other one that we were going to talk about, Jamie Barrett and SK.
Oh yeah.
Both young guys, both very, very quick off the mark, and Jamie Barrett was looking very much in fine form on the weekend.
Jamie's 17, just 17 years of age, and is already a name that people around the world know. That's a really exciting thing for Jamie. SK maybe not. It doesn't have that same brand name recognition, but young South Korean, now living in Brisbane as well, and definitely making a name for himself in the world of arm wrestling, and both really strong young guys, and you can tell they're both benchmarks for each other, aren't they? You can tell that every time they come to the table, they're really trying to judge their own progress as much as anything.
That's right. It was interesting actually listening to Jamie in the pre-match interview, saying that he wanted to test SK's hook, and I think he felt like he could have probably just blasted through with an explosive top roll, but he wanted to have a really good match and a really good back and forth war with SK, which is what he got. And it was a fantastic battle, and it's one of those things when you take an opportunity like that, it's like, I could do what I always do and get maybe a quick victory, but what I really want is I really want a war, and I really want to earn, if I get a win, because I know that SK is very strong in the hook. If I get this victory, it's well deserved.
Yeah. And keeping in mind, I mean, Jamie's put himself in that position where maybe he could have won more quickly, had an easier victory if he'd gone a different path, chose the hard route, and he's jumping on a plane in 5 weeks' time, and he's going to be in America or Monster Factory.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could have easily hurt himself because this guy's no joke.
No,
I mean, so yeah, just a great match, and this is what I love about AWE. It's our ability to really shine a spotlight on some of this young talent, and Jamie Barrett's an exciting prospect, featured on AWE 1 to really settle who Australia's top junior is, and Hamza Hodzic came out on top on that occasion. Would have been great to get Jamie back to AWE 2, but really hard to find opportunities because you know with Jamie there's only really a handful of people that you can really put on the table with him for it to be fair for both parties and to be a good match to watch. So you know, we're already at that point with young Jamie where it's, you know, we've got to look further afield to find opponents that are worthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things. And plus, you know, the cards fill very quickly. When I was talking about this right at the start of the card of the show when you were still on your way in, but you know, the advantage of doing what we did with the Underground show was that everyone in that room is an arm wrestler, and the fact that people were wanting to get on the table and had the opportunity, it's like it wasn't like a set card as if you go to see a pay-per-view event, and even though you might be an arm wrestler, you might be better than some of the guys that are on the actual card, you know, there's no opportunity for you to go up and compete. You're going to be waiting for the after pool, or maybe you can get on with some of the guys or whatever. But in this, it was like everyone in that room, it's like, well, if you guys want to, do you want to go get, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's make a stream.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, what about you and you? What about you and you? Like, this is awesome. So
the beast is further chirped in here that he thinks that maybe Marcus is one of only two people, maybe not even that many, that's pinned Gunters.
Yes.
So Lachlan Adair maybe being the other one.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty remarkable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's no joke, and it was back and forth, and I think I've talked about this several times. But in terms of strategy, in any arm wrestling match you want to point to and go, oh, it's just strength or it's just power, it's like, have a look at this one and see the games that were being played by both parties here, and the adjustments, and you know, the setting of traps, and the adjusting to what they think the other person is going to do, and then maybe that will get you the victory in that round, and the other person making their adjustments, and it was that back and forth battle of strategy, and that was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and well, I think really, I think what the Beast is maybe suggesting here is that Marcus is one of only two people to have been Gunters and had a heavyweight title match. Mataringi's now pinned Marcus,
right?
Meaning Mataringi now versus Gunters is the next natural. I think that may be. I think that's maybe where it's going here. I think this is where it's going in the comments. He's doing the maths. He's building up. So it's the Ryan Bowen maths. It's like, well, he beat him, but I beat them, and that means that of course, it's time for a title match. I think that's what he's suggesting. Very, very nicely, because he never just asked it. But he's a nice man. Yeah, have you done the maths yet, boys?
I'll just tell you about the Marcus pinning Gunters.
How good Marcus is, and remember who beat Marcus. But Marcus is really good. It's just I'm way stronger.
He's good, but I'm way better.
Way better.
Way better. I'm way better. I'll tell you.
So maybe that's one of the belts is over there. Yeah. So and Gunther's currently out with injury, so maybe still recovering from that match with Marcus Tirai. So, So we hope to see Gunther's back on the table very, very soon. I'm sure we'll hear word of his comeback.
What's cool about this is that there is so many matches that we can make just based off of that, and it's like, I'd love to see Mataringi versus Gunters. I'd love to see Ryan Bowen versus Gunters. I'd love to see Mataringi versus Ryan again. I'd love to see who else? Lachlan versus Mataringi. It's like we just keep making these matches. It's like, I'd like to see all of those, please.
Yeah, there's a great matches still we had. I feel like it's only just the beginning. I think we've covered all the matches, and just to throw to it, you might notice some of the matches, some of the match competition shirts had different sponsors. So here's one of the newer ones. That's Bad Bears. I'll try and make their get a bit of a pump, make it look a little bit bigger, but maybe not. And of course, so Bad Bears, it's an NFT project. We love the Bad Bears boys over there in Florida who are doing great things. They help you manage your Discord server, so manage your Discord community and so all of your members are getting the best out of their experience. You buy a little NFT that unlocks everything you need to be able to do that. All the keys to the castle are available to you. So Bad Bears, they've jumped on board. Thank you very much. And of course, our friends at Bunsters Hot Sauce. Here we go. That's what it looks like.
How did that compare to the chip that you had with Ryan?
So I would say start with Tabasco, then go with the Bunsters, the 12 out of 10, and then try the
World's hottest chip.
The Carolina Reaper, corn chips. So I think you can see more of that on Ryan's Instagram page. And of course, our friends at Barbell Foods doing great things for us all the time. So head over there. Now, if you do head over to either Amazon or to Bunsters worldwide, then you can get 10% off just by using the code word AWE. And same thing goes if you head over to Barbell Foods. They'll deliver it to your door. Be biltong, air-dry biltong, good source of protein, makes you big and strong. If you want to know why Ricoh Borneman's so strong, it's because they're raised on this stuff there in South Africa. So it is an Australian product. It's all made here. It gets delivered to your door. 10% off when you use the code word AWE. Any other final thoughts, Hollywood Matt Connolly?
I think it was amazing. We're going to talk about the other 4 matches next week, but you can check out. They will be released over the next few days at the AWE YouTube channel. If you want to check out AWE 1 or AWE 2 matches, you can find them on the website, which is awearmwrestling.com. And so the 5th one got released as we were talking here, and it's Josh Barker versus Tyson Bryce. So you can check that out on the AWE YouTube channel and see that. It is a 70-kilo man versus a 160-kilo man.
And that 160-kilo man is no joke. He busted my wrist like nothing, and he'd been after pulling for an hour, and I was fresh. And I thought, I might have a bit of I couldn't move him. And so you get a full appreciation for Josh Barker. So anyway, check out the video. You'll see exactly what we mean. And of course, keep an eye out for the next 4 that'll be coming your way, no doubt, over the coming days. So thank you very much, Hollywood Matt Connolly.
Thank you
once again. Sorry, I couldn't be here for the introduction early, but
I thought you were going for a handshake. Oh, my hand flinched like you were going for the handshake.
Oh, did it?
I was like,
well, you got to follow through then, don't you?
Well, you said thank you like that. I was like,
right. So I kind of lost my train.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That mission accomplished.
Yes.
Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Ryan Bowen, who's not here. He's working feverishly behind a computer screen somewhere right now, or in front of a computer screen behind a keyboard. Why are both of those things in front of you?
He's got the monitor and then the keyboard's behind it. He has to keep reaching.
How are you behind the keyboard but in front of the monitor? I don't know.
See,
both
secrets.
facing you.
This is how you get to 100,000 subscribers, though.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. So thank you very much for your support of AWE Underground. We really appreciate it. We look forward to bringing you all more next time.
All right. Thank you. Finish with that. It's just this for the next 20 minutes.